Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Easy Life Science. Subscribe and stay tuned. In the modern era, trashes and pollutants are major problems or obstacles. To find out the eco-friendly ways to deal with the problems was also important for the betterment of the future. To find out chemical-free way or eco-friendly way to clean the pollutants or waste management will be the sustainable way to build the better future. The way of dealing these problems with the employment of living entities such as microbes and plants and called as bioremediation. Bioremediation is a biotechnical process which abates or cleans up contamination. It is a type of waste management technique which involves the use of organisms to remove or utilize the pollutants from a polluted area. Microorganisms like bacteria and fungi are the main role player when it comes to executing the process of bioremediation. Bioremediation was of different kinds, which can be classified by various criteria. 1. Based on the use of organisms. Based on which organism is using for remediation, it classified into microbial remediation, phytoremediation, and mycoremediation. 2. Based on the site of execution. Based on where these remediation activities will be employed, it is of two types. In situ bioremediation, remediation at the site of problems. Ex situ remediation, pollutants were treated away from its actual origin. 3. Based on mechanism. Based on way of remediation, it is classified into biostimulation, bioaugmentation, and intrinsic bioremediation. Let's learn types of remediation in detail. The process of bioremediation can be classified based on a variety of criteria. 1. Based on remediation aiding organism. Microbial remediation. Phytoremediation. Mycoremediation. Microbial remediation. In microbial remediation, bacteria and algae were used to clean up the pollutants. Microbial bioremediation can be further subdivided into enzymatic cellular bioremediation. In this process, the enzymes produced by the microbial cells are extracted and applied on the contaminant site. Extracellular enzymatic bioremediation. In this process, enzymes produced by the microbes are secreted directly into the medium, facilitates the degradation of the pollutant. Phytoremediation. It is the process of using a living plant directly on the contaminant for its assimilation. A few pollutants which the plants can clean up by this method are metals, pesticides, chlorinated solvents, polychlorinated biphenyls, and petroleum hydrocarbons. Some plants which can be used for phytoremediation are Indian mustard, Indian grass, brown mustard, sunflower plants, barley grass, pumpkin, poplar trees, pine trees, and white willows. Mycoremediation. It is the process of using fungal species for pollutant neutralization from a site. Fungi use their metabolic enzymes to decompose chemicals like metals and varied types of pesticides. Plants neutralize pollutants by various ways, like rhizofiltration, where plants absorbs and holds pollutants using their roots. Phytostabilization and phytostimulation, plant roots holds pollutants in one place simultaneously. It promotes microbes around it to act on pollutants. Phytodegradation and phytovolatilization, plants degrades absorbed organic pollutants through the synthesis of various enzymes, and some volatile compounds gets evaporated to the atmosphere through leaves. Phytoextraction, plants absorbs pollutants from water and soil and stores them in its leaves. In these ways, the plants helps to resolve the pollution problem in our area. Based on on-site or off-site removal of the pollutants, bioremediation is classified into two types, namely, in situ remediation and ex situ remediation. In situ bioremediation. The process of treatment of contaminated soil or water in the very site of contamination. means the problem was cleared at the site where it happened. This can be achieved most effectively by using aerobic procedures like 1. Bioventing. This is the most common in situ treatment, and it involves the supplying of air and nutrients through the wells to contaminated soil to stimulate the indigenous microorganism present in it. Bioventing is applied for remediation of petroleum hydrocarbons contaminants in soil through air supply to an unsaturated soil zone, using a combination of pumps and blowers for continuous injection of low volumes of air. 2. Injection of hydrogen peroxide. This method is used only when the groundwater in the area is already contaminated. Because the injected materials have a tendency to leach into the groundwater. Hydrogen peroxide boosts up the metabolizing the capability of bacteria, thus accelerating the remediation process. Ex situ bioremediation. In this, the treatment processes initiated on soil or water after excavation from the contaminated site to the required or facilitated site. Ex situ bioremediation is achieved by two ways. 1. Slurry phase bioremediation. Contaminated soil is mixed with water and other substances to form a liquid-like suspension called as slurry within a bioreactor. Then the mixture is agitated to ensure homogenization and effective contact between the microorganisms, pollutants, and nutrients. 2. Solid phase bioremediation. It is also known as land farming or biopiling. Here, excavated soil is moved to a treatment area into forms such as a heap or windrow and mixed with nutrients, bulking agents like compost, and water. Aeration pipes are often incorporated into the heaps to ensure sufficient oxygen for microbial respiration. Bioremediation types based on mechanism. 1. Biostimulation. As the name suggests, the bacteria or microorganisms were stimulated to initiate the process. The contaminated soil is first mixed with special nutrients substances, including other vital components either in the form of liquid or gas. It stimulates the growth of microbes, thus resulting in efficient and quick removal of contaminants by microbes and other bacteria. 2. Bioaugmentation. At times, there are certain sites where microorganisms are required to extract the contaminants. For example, municipal wastewater. In these special cases, the process of bioaugmentation is used. There's only one major drawback in this process is, it almost becomes impossible to control the growth of microorganisms in the process of removing the particular contaminant. 3. Intrinsic bioremediation. The process of intrinsic bioremediation is most effective in the soil and water because of the two biomes which always have a high probability of being full of contaminants and toxins. The process of intrinsic bioremediation is mostly used in underground places like underground petroleum tanks. In such place, it is difficult to detect a leakage and contaminants and toxins can find their way to enter through these leaks and contaminate the petrol. Thus, only microorganisms can remove the toxins and clean the tanks. Advantages of bioremediation. Since the bioremediation is employed by living entities, it possesses several advantages over the conventional waste management methods. Since bioremediation is a natural process, use of chemicals will be minimized, so it will become cost-effective process. And through in-situ remediation, on-site solution is possible with minimum labor involvement and time.